This new AI agent creates AI automations for you on complete autopilot, and the use cases are absolutely insane. You don't need to do any coding, there's no technical knowledge required. You just describe what you want in plain English, and this builds the entire workflow, writes the integration code, and adapts over time so you never have to touch it again. Because tools like n8n and make.com require you to be technical. This doesn't. Welcome to Twin.so. It has over 2,500 integrations, and if one doesn't exist, Twin can actually open up a virtual browser and do it anyway. And this is a platform that I heard about only last week, because whilst I was on X Twitter, I saw this post by Hugo, and basically it's introducing Twin as the AI company builder. I actually think they're doing a disservice, because I actually think it does a lot more than just building, and I'll show you that in the next few steps. They raised 10 million seed funding, and after a beta with 100,000 plus AI agents deployed, they're now opening up to everyone. So that obviously caught my attention, because at this moment in time, Clawdbot's getting all the headlines. But this is what makes Twin.so fundamentally different, because unlike Clawdbot, which is open source and it's a little bit different, you have to host it yourself. So either you host it on your local machine, which is why everyone's going out there and buying Mac minis, or you have an AWS solution. And with Twin, everything is spun up on their cloud, and it's basically an instance. So whenever you run an agent, it creates an instance inside of Twin's cloud network. So everything's secure inside of there, and it basically runs whatever you decide to build as the workflow. And the best thing about Twin, in my opinion, is the interface. It's so easy to use. So on the left hand side here, you've got the navigation bar, which is how you create new agents and new projects. I've got a couple of agents here that I've already built, and I'll talk you through them in a second. And Twin has integration to thousands of libraries. So think external APIs. If you want to do scraping, monitoring on Reddit, you can do that natively inside of the agent. And if an agent doesn't have access to an API, Twin can actually spin up a virtual browser and carry out a task for you anyway. All the details are completely secure. So once the browser task has been done, it will then delete that instance. So it doesn't actually save any of the details. Now that the introduction is done, let me show you some use cases that I'm personally using for my own business. The first agent I spun up was the YouTube breakout monitor. And so I asked Twin, do you know what video outliers are in the context of YouTube? And so for guys who are new to YouTube, basically the way YouTube works is that it will group together your last 10 uploads. And for most creators, we have like an average number of views across a 10. So let's say that's 500 views. But an outlier is one that basically breaks that trend. It's doing better than your last 10 uploads. And so what I want to do is I want Twin to basically monitor my competitors, look for video outliers, and then give me all the details inside of my Slack. So the first thing I asked it is, do you understand in the context of YouTube what a video outlier is? And this is a language model, so it absolutely should understand it. But I didn't want any ambiguity, so I put that in there as a prompt. And you can see everything in here is done in English. I'm not using any JSON or any, complicated language, inputs. It's very basic. I'm literally having a conversation with it. That's how good this is. So it's giving me a content strategy that I haven't even asked for, but I like the fact that it's thinking about it and joining the dots, because fundamentally it knows what I want. So it even knows common use cases, right? So finding winning content ideas to adapt. That's exactly what I want to do, right? I want to see what my competitors are doing, and then I want to look at the types of titles, the thumbnails they're using, the content that they're producing, and then obviously I'll spin up something that's similar. And so I've said it, I'll give you a list of my competitor channels. Can you monitor them and alert me when there's a breakout video? And absolutely, that's a great use case for an agent, which I think it is, right? It's such a great way to use your time. This is something that I used to do manually when I first started. Then I had an n8n workflow for this. But actually doing it inside of Twin is so much easier, because the n8n workflow took me a couple hours to build. This later took me about 10 minutes to spin up. And so it's going to ask me a couple of questions. Where do I want the output? Where do I want the alerts to go? And I've said Slack, because I use Slack for both my internal comms with my team. I also communicate on Slack to my clients. So for me, it's the kind of central nervous system, and it's one of the platforms that I spend most of my time in. So initially I said, Twin asked me, how often do you want to check for breakout videos? So I said every few hours, but we only get 500 credits on the free plan when you sign up, which is, I believe, 500 credits a month. So I changed it from every few hours to once a week, because you're not likely to get breakout videos every few hours. It's more likely to happen over a longer course of time, a longer period, like say a week or maybe like a month. So then I changed that from a few days to daily. Then I changed it to like every Monday at 9 a.m. my local time. And then it just needs a few inputs, right? So the list of competitor channels. So I literally just scraped this using Apify. So these are a list of all my competitors. I'm actually going to update this over time and add hundreds, if not thousands, of competitor channels, and I can automate that entire process. So you can see here, there's a whole list of amazing creators on YouTube. And then basically what I've asked it to do is, it's called the YouTube Breakout Monitor. Daily check all 36 competitor channels for new videos. For each video, compare its view count against the channel's average, right? That's what the outlier means. And then I've said, look for any video that's at least 5 or more for the outlier score, adjusted for video age. And then it basically sends everything into a Slack channel called YouTube Intel, which is inside my private Slack group. Before it was ready to run, I asked, do you know, how will you know it's an outlier video? And basically it's explaining it to me. It's internal logic, which is to pull recent videos, the last 20 to 30, establish a baseline average. So it knows exactly what it needs to do, right? And adjust it for video age. So a 2-day-old video with 50K views is more impressive than a 30-day-old video with 50K views. And that's absolutely right. This is an absolute rock star, right? Because it's got 50K in 2 days. That's something that I definitely want to look at. I want to look at the content, the titles, the thumbnails, the packaging, everything. So that's perfect. And then it's going to basically calculate an outlier ratio. It only flags it if it's more than, if it's 3 or more X for the baseline. Then I change it to 5X because I want to find the very best videos. And then it's spinning up the agent all inside of Twin. I'm not doing any of this. I haven't coded anything. I haven't added anything. In fact, it's even got the YouTube API built into it. And so when it runs, it looks like something like this. So this is inside of my Slack group. And you can see here that it's got a breakout video, which is one of Nick's, who's really gone hard in on Clawdbot. Clawdbot sucks actually. It was posted at the time it was posted at, the age was only about 2.5 days. But look at it. It's really ripping out, right? It's 41X, his average, his channel average. So this is something that I can definitely emulate and copy. I might not necessarily agree with what Nick is saying. I respect Nick. I think he's one of the greatest creators in this space. But I can certainly have a look at it, look at the title, the packaging, the way he approaches his video creation. So yeah, I mean, I can definitely get some ideas from that, even if I don't agree with the content. And he's got another one here, it gets worse, which is also Clawdbot. So let's move down a bit. Let's see what Jono is saying. So Jono is saying he replaced the n8n with Google's anti-gravity, which by the way, a lot of people are doing. It's not something that I want to do because I run an agency and I need n8n for client projects. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying they've cancelled n8n for anti-gravity and tools like Twin, also Clawdbot, it's Claude Code. A lot of these agentic builders are taking over. So pay attention to this, right? But this one is about 3.5 days old and has an 8.6 average. So again, this is something that I could look at. Again, I don't necessarily have to agree with the content, but it's fine. It's more about packaging, titles, thumbnails, and the way Jono presents his videos, the way he edits them. I can get a lot of ideas from that. And you can see here that I've got tons of content, absolute tons. And this runs every Monday at 9 a.m. So I'm never ever going to run out of ideas. And traditionally I was doing this by hand, right? Like I was going into like a private window, incognito mode in YouTube and just ascertaining this information. But I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy good. Here's another breakout video. So Kimi 2.5 is, I believe it's another language model that's been released from China. So this is one that I haven't really looked into yet. The AI space is moving so fast. It's really hard to A, get up to speed, and B, certainly for me, creating the content. So I'll definitely look into that. I've seen a lot of videos and content around this. And yeah, this saves me hours, absolute hours every single week because it creates like intelligence reports for me. The second use case was inspired by this post on X by Machina. Basically, he built this for Claude Code, but I knew that I could modify this for Twin, and it's basically a listener agent. So all it does is it monitors Reddit, Twitter, X, YouTube comments, basically wherever your audience speak. This is actually a brilliant strategy, and then extracts pain points, questions, objections, everything they need, and every week you get fresh insights on problems nobody's addressing yet. I thought, yeah, this is brilliant. So all I did was I literally pasted this into Twin, and I said, read this post and implement it. And that's basically what I've done. So this content trend spotter will monitor Twitter, X, Reddit, which is a huge source of ideas, pain points, suggestions, trends, everything you can think of is basically inside of Reddit. And I wanted to monitor this for trends, anything that I could use in the future for my own content. And so I can't see the rest of the prompt. I'm not sure why. Maybe there's the context window is not that big yet, but essentially that's all I'm doing. And I got to this point here, and then I asked it, do you need any APIs for both platforms? So for Google Sheets, they don't, because they've already got an internal API integration. And for Slack, I just needed to add my Slack channel, like give it like basic OAuth permissions. So where the window pops up saying, Twin wants to connect with you, give it permissions, accept it, that kind of stuff. So basically it's updated memory, started building an interface, and then the task is completed. So this is solid gold, 19 video ideas pulled straight from what your audience is actually talking about, not guessing. And here you go. This is what it's done. It's completed monitoring these subreddits, X, Twitter, search, and trending topics, and YouTube communities. It's identified 34 content opportunities, 2 critical priority items, 22 high priority items, and then it's given me things about the n8n webhook reliability crisis, AI agent frameworks, local LLMs. It's given me video ideas and titles, suggestions. Also, it's given me like a tool stack that I can discuss in these videos. A lot of these I have covered in previous videos. I've not really looked into Crew AI, although I know what it is. And then it's actually giving me resources. So the first one is the content insights, and it's actually categorized this. So I haven't asked for any of this, right? It's actually spun up this Google Sheet itself in view only mode, and it's giving me a priority. I mean, it's really quite brilliant. So the category, the platform, it's got questions and pain points, video ideas, audience sizes, difficulty. I mean, I'm not so worried about the difficulty because I consider myself an expert in this space, so that's fine. But I do like this, the priority. So should I do this first, last? I mean, kind of helps me prioritize it, especially when I'm creating something like 20 to 25 videos a month. The second document that it creates, and again, this is all done on an autopilot. It's not even integrated into my API. This is using their own internal API with their own accounts in Google Docs and Google Sheets. And it's got an AI automation weekly community digest. And it's given me some additional information that I can use. So honestly, guys, this is incredible. This is really, really incredible stuff. I mean, I've just hit the tip of the iceberg here. There's so much more I want to to do. I've got automations that I want to build. And once I get a bit of free time, I'm definitely going to build them out. And remember, this is the worst Twin.so is ever going to be. It's only going to get better. It's going to have more integrations. You can actually integrate your own API. So if you've got like a YouTube API or you want to build a scraper inside a Twin, you can actually take APIs from platforms like apify.com, which I use a lot, and integrate it into your AI agent on Twin. So Twin is helping me check X, Twitter, Reddit communities, YouTube comments and communities, and basically saving me hours per week looking for either pain points or trending content I can use both for my business or for my YouTube channel. It's also scouring YouTube and looking at my competitors' video to find outliers, to find trending content. And this is all done on autopilot every single Monday morning at 9 a.m. I hope you understand the power of something like Twin, an agentic builder where you can basically automate any tasks literally within minutes. The most I've spent on any of these agents is about 10 minutes. You can integrate any application both inside of Twin, or you can take APIs and integrate it from external platforms. And best of all, if there's no API, Twin can actually spin up a virtual browser and do it for you. It's such an underrated tool. I'm really excited about this. And if you want to get your hands on it, click on the link in my video description. This referral link will give you 550 credits. So if you sign up without it, it's just 500 credits, but you get extra 50 credits. I get extra 50 credits. It's a no-brainer. None of us are getting paid from this, but honestly, 500 credits is more than enough. I've been running a few things inside of Twin, and I'm really excited where this platform is going. This one's really sneaking underneath the radar, but I think it's going to be huge in 2026. And if you love this tutorial, click on the next video on screen. Smash the like button if you got some value here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, because I'm somebody that drops absolute AI sauce. I want you to make money from AI. And honestly, I think most of us have anywhere between 12 to 18 months before AI is aggressively going to go after jobs and replace a lot of these positions in companies that have admin, that do jobs and services that can be automated. So don't wait too long. AI is not going to replace you, but most likely somebody using AI definitely will. And if you've got any comments, just leave them below. I'll answer every single one when I get some time. And before you go, say it with me, something magical is going to happen today. Take care.